Hey y'all, so I just got back, spent the day hiking on the PCT, and Fumbles just picked me up, and we came back to the campground we're staying at, which is Hart's Bar Campground just outside of Big Bear. The conversion trailer did great traveling over, and man, I slept great in it last night. It's so nice to be able to just set something up in a matter of 5 minutes and you're ready to go. But I mean, initially, we started out many years ago camping in a dome tent, pop up, just a Walmart special like everybody else. Then we progressed to a pop up tent trailer, and from there to the big full size tow behind RV trailer with bunk beds and everything for the kids. But now they've moved out and they're doing their thing, and we really wanted to downsize but be able to get into some more of these remote areas like we've been doing, and without having to have a big fifth wheel to tow it with or anything like that. So anyway, been working out great, and I'm going to turn it over to her and let her tell you some of the little finer things about it that we've added.
Hi, so for our second trip, we are outside of Big Bear. I've never been here. I don't think Stumbles has ever been here either. So it was kind of nice to take our camper somewhere that we've never been on our second trip. It's beautiful. This campground is quiet. There's hardly anybody here. Now I do understand that that changes on the weekends, but for now we're going to enjoy the peace and quiet. So we wanted to touch on a few things that we added or changed from our first video. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is a fire extinguisher. I found this on Amazon, and it's a perfect little size for fitting in our little cubby here. So I just tuck it in here, and as you can see, it does gasoline, wood, electrical, and oils and fats. So we have this just in case, and it doesn't take up a lot of room. And I don't think it was more than 10 bucks. So you can find that on Amazon. We also added some coffee cups, and we hung them with those little round screw-in rings, but then we added them to hang nicely with carabiners. So it was a nice way to keep them organized and up off the counter and they looked good and they're easy to take on and off. And the other thing that I needed was coffee. I missed having coffee on our first camping trip, and I probably could have purchased some of those instant coffee packs, but for some reason they never taste the same as a fresh brewed pot of coffee. So I bought a Farberware percolator, used it the first time this morning, and it worked great. So I had me actually two nice cups of coffee this morning, and that was worth it, definitely. We also added a mirror. I mean, there are times you get up in the morning and you have no idea what you look like. You're gonna, meet someone and you've got sleep in your eyes or whatever. So it's kind of nice to check your face before you start talking to the public, especially when you're camping and, things just happen. You get dirty, things like that. One of the things I missed about, mentioning the last video is you probably wondered how we kept this door open and from swinging all the way back. Well, we added a piece of PVC pipe, and we just took a piece of rebar and we just slide it in, and it comes into the ground like that, and it holds the door. So it works in dirt, it works on this pavement type, gravelly pavement, and then I just painted it brown to give it more of a blended in look to go with the door. And I think that's all the changes we made into the kitchen area. So now we'll take you around to the inside of the camper and then show you some things that we did in there. So if you ever had a cargo trailer before, you know that these doors don't like to stay shut on their own. They tend to want to pull back, and you have to actually latch it to get it to stay shut. So in order to bypass that without drilling into the door and putting in an RV handle, which we've seen on YouTube, and it looked like it was a pain in the neck. So we went ahead and added, because we wanted to do two things. One, if we want to keep airflow going through the door, not close it all the way, we put these D-rings here. We put another D-ring on this side, which you'll see in a minute, with a carabiner, and then we just latch it, and it keeps the door open just about this much without it wanting to pull back any further. So then we can keep some airflow coming in the door and going out the window, keep it a little cooler in there. If we don't want to do that and we want to have the door completely shut, we added this hook. Then we take this metal bar and we place it in the hook. This is when the door is shut, and the bar actually catches on the back side of this frame. So we've attempted to pull it and you just can't. If you're standing on the outside, you can't pull it open. So that's our way to make sure that we were secure inside. The reason for that is, one, we didn't want to be locked inside. So we had to find a way to keep the door shut and not allow people to come by and lock us in. And two, if I'm by myself camping, I want to feel secure that I have that door shut and no one can try to get in. So what we're worried about is somebody coming by and locking us in. So all they would have to do is, just this, and you're trapped in there. You can't get out. So what our plan is that if we end up shutting the door all the way at night, and we're in a shady place, we don't really have to worry about it here at campgrounds because people just tend to leave each other alone. But if we're in some place we're not comfortable with, we will actually take the lock and we'll lock it and take the key. So that way they can't, but they can't shut it and lock us in there. So that's one of the things we forgot to talk about before. As for the inside, some of the changes that we made, they're minor on the inside, but there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. So on the inside, we ended up buying one of those little fans that is USB. So we could plug it into our Goal Zero and have a fan run at night. Because we used to have that big fan, but it only ran on 12-volt power, or just like a power cord. And it was too bulky, too big. So we went ahead and bought one of those little USB ones. And then what we also did is up there, the netting, we found that because we didn't have it attached at the bottom, a lot of the stuff was falling out of the top. So we went ahead and put some screws in the bottom of the netting with some hooks, and now this last trip we didn't have anything fall out. So that kind of gives it a little more security. One of the questions or comments and questions that we had on our first video was how big are the beds when they're folded out? So the beds are 70 inches folded out. So we left one of them folded out so you could see, and one folded up so you could kind of see the difference on length and how. So they fit a 6-foot person pretty good. And I guess that's pretty much all the changes that we made on the inside. So we wanted to pay tribute to the Yarnell 19. They were wildland firefighters that perished fighting a fire in Yarnell. And this is the Eric Marsh Foundation for Wildland Firefighters. And the names of each one of the firefighters that were killed is listed on the outside of this sticker. So if you'd like to donate, just go to their foundation, and it's the Eric Marsh Foundation for Wildland Firefighters.org, and you can donate. And it was one of the worst tragedies that we've seen in Arizona, and we just want to show our support. Thank you.
So from Stumbles,
And Fumbles.
we'll see you down the trail.